because I have like 1.5 million zillion things to do. But welcome everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, become a member. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you're a member, Patreon, welcome. Just got done at the supermarket, buying a couple things, because of course I ran out of tape. So, OMG. I learned something last night I got a big shout out to Kim Brooks for finding this information out. I had no idea, but in my opinion, it now changes everything, and I mean everything. So Kim found out from an FOAI, I guess they're called. Yeah, Freedom of I was going to say Information Act, FOIA, that I guess Joe Petito got. There were 46 911 calls between September 10th, and this is coming from inside the laundry home. 46 911 calls between September 10th and September 29th. Now, you can easily say, okay, a lot of those were protesters. Correct. However, what about the 5 or 6 calls that were made on the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th? I don't know if it's exactly 5, but I know it's more than 3 and less than 12. Why were they calling 911 when their son was home? Let me tell you why. This is just an opinion. Again, it's just an opinion. I think they were going to turn him in. That's what I think. And they told him they were going to turn him in. And they told him what to do. That's why he spoke to the lawyer on the 11th and the 12th, or the 12th and the 13th, whatever. They knew exactly what was happening. They knew exactly what they were going to do. And Brian got scared, and Brian took off. Yeah, everything is redacted. I agree. Maybe they called to say that the son was going to hurt themselves. Maybe that, which is kind of what I'm thinking. Just goes perfectly in line with they were looking for a dead body all from the beginning. So, like, I've been thinking about this all night. I'm like, there are so many possibilities. But there was nothing wrong at that point. So why'd they call 911? And why is it a big secret on top of that? Why is this a big secret? Did the family know anyone in Northport Police Department that, they were trying to get a hold of? Were they trying to make sure everything was okay? I mean, this is like huge. This is a huge piece of the puzzle that nobody's been able to figure out is why did they call 911? Well, obviously they did. So I've been thinking about a logical theory of how all this went down, that Brian told them what happened. They called the attorney. They told Brian they were going to turn him in. They did not. Brian did not want to get turned in. They called the attorney. The attorney spoke to Brian and told him exactly what was going to go down and what was going to happen and how this was going to go down. All right, from inside the laundry home, there were 46 calls made to 911 between September 10th and September 29th. So my guess is the trip on the 6th, which I also found out last night was originally only meant for 2 people. It was not meant for Brian to be there when they booked the trip. It was only booked for 2. So I think he told them, we're going to have a last hurrah. We're going to have our last, goodbye. And then I'm going to turn myself in, which was my original theory going back to the beginning, that Brian was going to turn himself in but I didn't realize his parents had called 911. So part of the reason that I believe the NPPD fucked up so bad, I have a feeling that they know more than they're willing to say, or they know more than they're letting out at the moment. That's what I think. So I know I'm driving and I'm doing this half-assed. I should have done this from home. I just don't have a lot of time because I got to get some stuff done today, and Phoenix has therapy early. But I had to get this out there because I'm blown away that I didn't know this. And I'm, all morning I'm like trying to put together this theory of how all this went down. And yeah, that's how I think it went down. I think they knew and they were going to turn him in. Either that, or maybe he was on drugs and he was called 911 on him. I don't know. This is a huge piece. I'm convinced they knew. And that's why they got so mad and so aggravated. Because they knew that they were going to turn him in. And he probably wanted to kill himself instead of getting turned in, which really I can't blame him. Ooh, FedEx here. Woohoo. One of my candle deliveries is here. Hey, you can just put it down. Thank you. All right, candle delivery has arrived. I don't know. We don't know any of that yet. So doesn't Bertolino tell the story in interviews? No, not really. I don't believe so. At least not in the way he needs to. And the other thing is, everybody is so up in arms about this notebook and what does it contain and everything else. Well, according to according to Petito, the notebook really doesn't have anything in it. Now, Joe Petito stated that he's not losing his mind over this because, one, it's never going to bring Gabby back, and two, he just doesn't believe that it's going to contain anything. He thinks it's going to contain, pictures and stuff, but it's not going to contain what everyone thinks it's going to contain. He doesn't believe it has a confession, and he just doesn't think it means that much. They call the woman dirty with bird. I totally agree with you. Batteries included. I've never done that. Hey, D. Bottom line is family didn't deserve the bullshit. I agree. I never understood the protesting. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I did at one point. But to be there every single day, I didn't understand. I could see going, I didn't have a problem going down. If I could have afforded it, I would have gone down for a minute. I just couldn't afford it, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I do see protesting every single day. Like, that I don't agree with. And I never did. But I just think it's crazy. This is like pretty big news that they were calling 911 on the 10th, 11th, the 12th, maybe the 13th. But like all of their stories just keep changing. Like everybody's lying. They're lying. I feel like the only people that aren't lying are the Petitos. They're the only ones that don't seem to be lying. Everybody else seems to be lying. Yeah, but after the first couple of days, they should have realized they weren't coming out. I understand why it was done. I just didn't totally agree with it. I mean, the news were there. Everybody was there. If they were going to come out, they were going to come out because there was, 45 news people watching their house all the time. That's what was going to make them come out, not protesters. I agree, Candy Bar. I didn't go for that. I didn't understand that either. I was trying to Tito stop calling or bugging them. That's my theory. No, I don't think so, Rainey. I really don't think so. You can't call 911 to get somebody else to stop calling you, especially when you have a missing kid. Joseph is Gabby's dad, yes. If they don't want to do something, I can't force them. And I agree with that. And I also think that's why they were having so many issues with keeping him and not letting him leave the house. But I'm telling you, I'm convinced that they called 911 because they were going to turn him in. I've been thinking about this all night. 100% convinced they were going to turn him in. Innocent until proven guilty. Always protest like the whine about it till it applies to them. Oh no, I agree with innocent until proven guilty. That's why I never jumped on that hate train. Oh, another thing that Joseph Petito said is that he doesn't want to focus on what's done is done. He wants to focus on DV and domestic violence. That's what his goal is. So that I'll tell you what that tells me. That tells me that he knows more than we do. And I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. We don't know. We still don't know for sure if it was Brian's hands. Like legally, we don't know for sure if it was Brian's hands that were wrapped around her neck. We don't know for sure if Brian ever hurt her. We don't know a lot of things. But I always wondered if the Petitos do. And I always thought, I wonder if they know what actually happened, even if they can't legally tell the public. So when he keeps fighting for DV, that makes me think that they know more than we do. And that the coroner or whoever told them everything that they need to know. So I'm going to go with Joseph Petito. He seems like a very rational, intelligent man. And I'm going to assume that he's not going by public opinion when he talks about DV. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he's getting this from the actual coroner. So I'm going to go with that because that's really what I think. I honestly don't think he would just make that up, or just go by the public. Absolutely easy to speak on a terrible situation when you aren't in it. I agree with that. And honestly, his case isn't any different than any other case where this happens. I made Xavier's candle this morning. I was crying when I was doing the label. It's sad. I just hope it never, ever happens to me. I don't ever want to join that club. No, thank you. And I hope nobody I know ever has to join that club. And I know some people have already, and that's sad. Hey, Bobby. I hope so, too. Why does everyone think I'm parked inside my house? I'm in my garage. But like I said, this is going to be a super short live because I got to get in the house. I got a million things to do. I wanted to bring you guys that information because I think it's pretty important. Thank you, Dee. And I think a lot of stuff is going to come out over time. I really do. And I hope it does. I really, truly hope it does. But I think Petito Joseph is thinking I'm not going to hold my breath, waiting on this notebook when there may absolutely be nothing in there. They know more than anybody how bad the NPBD screwed up the case. Thank you, Panda. How bad they screwed up the case. So, I mean, they know firsthand. So it's an incredible, crazy, crazy time. And even though he doesn't plug me, I'll plug him. Popcorn Planet is doing a DV fundraiser. I didn't realize that Popcorn Planet was in Tampa Bay area. I didn't know that, but they are. So they're even having Brian Enton on. He's coming on at some point. Tonight there's a Gabby Petito special from they're retracing her steps in Moab and other places. And that's it. Yeah, I have a very lovely dining room. This is my dining room. Can you imagine? What do I look like? Candace and Don? Oh my God. Speaking of Candace and Don, did anybody hear him talk yesterday? I clipped a piece of it. I'm probably going to upload it. Dude, he went berserk on this girl, Ziggy, that was interviewing him. Holy crap. I told Tiffany, I'm like, yo, this is whacked. I don't know if you guys had if anyone has seen it. I'll upload the 15 minutes that I clipped. Holy crap, he went berserk. He was cursing up a storm. He was like, if you don't know what it's fucking like, blah, 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 whoever came and took my fucking kid. I was like, whoa. I mean, barely, I had blurry vision. I hear you. Now it's crazy. Nah, whistle down. I got the good clip. That's all you really need is one good clip. But it was insane. I don't even know who Ziggy was. Put the lime in the coconut. I'm telling you, it was insane. I couldn't believe how he was screaming. I was like, wow. I'm sorry, Navy vet. And that's the final thing I want to say, and then I got to get off. I'll go live again later once I get all my stuff done. But I got to be honest with you guys. A lot of people think I don't know I've never been a victim of DV, or I don't know anything about DV. I know DV very well. I was a victim of a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Nonviolent. And maybe that's why people think I don't know what I'm talking about, because it was all nonviolent. But no, not that, Ziggy. But I was abused by him. I was abused by the courts. He made sure his lawyers abused me. The courts abused me. Our old friends. Like, it was psychological, mental, financial, definitely financial. Do I know what it's like to get beat up? No, I've never been in a violent relationship like that. So in that regard, no, I don't know what that's like. But I do know heavily about DV and not even realizing you're a victim till it's all over. But if people are referring to me that I don't know what DV is like from a physical standpoint, that is correct. I don't. Not that psychological, financial is any better, but I don't know what it's like from a physical standpoint. I would probably take a 2x4 to someone if they ever laid a hand on me. So I don't know it from physical. So that is correct. The mental abuse is worse. I think so. That's how I feel. If they had only talked to, yeah, but like I said, you can't. That's what I keep trying to stress over and over and over. You can't get mad at somebody for pleading the fifth. Yes, they should have spoke to Gabby's parents. As a righteous parent, as a normal person, as a good human being, yes, they should have spoke to Gabby's parents. But they pleaded the fifth, and once you plead the fifth, you have to continue with that. You can't change it. Once you speak, that's it. You broke your own Fifth Amendment. So it's all or none. They can't speak halfway. And that's what I keep trying to embed in everybody's head. And I really hope people start listening. I know it's frustrating, but you can't, it's all or nothing. You can't do it half-assed. That's where people get in trouble, because once you speak, you blow your whole Fifth Amendment. So you can't say anything. But believe me, I'm pretty sure that they wish they would have said something. I would love to interview them and find out what calls they made between the 10th and the 12th to 911. Exactly. If they did, it would have been held against them. So, all right, I got to get off though. I'll be back later. I'll come on tonight. We could discuss this more. It's just, I just wanted to get it out there because I just couldn't believe that there were so many calls to 911. That's crazy. And like I said, it's just got my mind going in 35 different directions. Well, what was part of that call? What could they have said? Could they have turned their son in? Were they calling for Gabby? Like, so many possibilities. So, all right, I will see you guys later. And like I said, Popcorn Planet is doing a fundraiser for DV. They got all sorts of special guests coming on. So shout out to them. And I will see you guys later. Peace.